Hello traders, welcome back to another major market breakdown. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, the sub button, and that bell icon. All that is going to tell the algorithm that this is good content, needs to get pushed out, and you're going to get a whole bunch of sauce, and you're going to know about where to trade and how everything's going to be moving at the end of this. So do that. All right. Like always, we're gonna get started with DXY. Last week we were looking for this low to get tapped. It almost did. It didn't all the way, but that just leaves us a little double bottom to get broken now. Get that out of the way. But once we do see price take that out, then we're gonna start seeing a lot more things like GBPUSD fly, EURUSD is probably gonna fly, but before that, I think we may get another push towards this little area that price seems to like a whole lot at like around like 100.145 ish, 140 ish, whatever you want to call it. That area seems to be liked. So if price doesn't dump on the open, then that's what I'm gonna expect to happen for at least between like Monday and Wednesday, maybe. If it doesn't dump, we're probably gonna go test out, if not this actual area here, at least somewhere around here before bears step back in and price goes back a little lower. And then but within the next 2 weeks, I think we'll probably end up seeing this low get taken out here. If not within 2 weeks, three maybe at the most, if like something happens fundamentally once price gets up here. But let's go through what that'll look like on our majors, and then we're gonna give y'all the trade of the week, or really trade of the month, honestly, because it's been a pretty good trade. It's the NZD JPY trade that we talked about last week and the week before that, and I think the week before that. But euro has been looking super bullish here, and we talked about last week how with all of this right here, this is last if you go to last week's video, we put this little box here because this is a pretty good run up, but for us to like clear this for real, we'll probably need to go back, build up a little momentum here, and then get a good clearance of it, and that'll probably be what it looks like when that bottom gets broken on DXY. Let me move this down a little bit. Sorry, wanted to see it a little bit more. But yeah, so and then this little gold box I have here is like a little. I think that's where price will, if price doesn't actually go test out that last high again, which I don't think it will. I think it'll probably tap that and then dump, and then we'll see buys off of this area. Now, as far as like buys, I'm really liking. I really want to wait for these here. I know that some traders are probably gonna take the sells from up here. I would just caution to having a close stop loss, just because like the dollar's weak. The dollar now, economic data came out pretty mixed, so it's not like showing crazy extra weakness. That's why I can see it pushing up a little bit, but overall the dollar is pretty weak. So I wouldn't want to be buying the dollar, which if you're selling Euro USD, you're buying the dollar. And then GU, now GU I like a lot more. Our entry got missed, but oh so barely, just oh so barely, as you can see there. Get rid of that there. I can still see price coming down into all of this though, so it's not like it's like super missed. It's just not happened yet for real. I just don't like to keep that box there. But I'd see price coming to like the equilibrium area of this little box I have, like 33,850 ish. I definitely want to see this low get taken out before I get in buys. But really, just a major retest of this area again is what it'll look like. Now, if this breaks and it goes a little bit lower, I wouldn't be like, oh, it's not gonna buy anymore. It's just market moving a little more than I expect or anything. You know what I'm saying, like that. So like it going lower than here doesn't scare me or anything like that. I'd still like buys from this area on up for GU, just because the data, economic data coming out for that is fairly good, and we're getting slight momentum shifts from our bird's eye view tool, kind of giving us a little bit of context. So once price gets in these areas that we're speaking on, I'm gonna go on the bird's eye view tool, and I'll show you that, and I'm just gonna type it in. Share this tab instead. Let's see, let's put in your USD real quick. So right now it's neutral. So whenever price gets in an area that I'd want to buy or sell, whatever, and go on here to the bird's eye view tool, type it in, and if we're getting momentum in the direction that I want it to go, then it's an extra confirmation confluence for the trade. So definitely one of the cooler tools that we have built over here at TDB. We do have some bots and things coming out to help and assist with trading, but it's a little bit of ways away for now. For now, we got the bird's eye view tool, which is kind of like an oracle for the markets, really, because it's just staring at the charts at all times, and then when it's time to buy, when it's really time to buy or it's really time to sell, it's gonna tell you that. But that's the gist of the majors for real. Let's go on to Nasdaq real quick. Gosh, I have a lot of zones marked off for Nasdaq. I don't really want to get rid of most of them, honestly, because there's still a chance that things topple, just because of how everything, it's like a teeter where it's like everybody can be on one side of the market, but the moment something shifts, everybody goes to the other side of the market. And by everybody, I mean like all the major money. So small money can get screwed over really quickly in these really heavy momentum shifts, especially with Nasdaq. This little drawing here. I'm not sure if I did it on the last. Actually, I think I did do it on the last episode. No, I didn't. I put this zone here on the last episode, but I think I drew it for the chat. But it happened exactly how I thought it was gonna happen. I just didn't. I wasn't paying attention because I was in and out of sleep at the time because I have a newborn. And he was in and out of sleep, so we was in and out of sleep. You know what I'm saying? And this move happened, but it was a nice move. I know some of the guys caught the move. They sent me some screenshots. There was kind of gloating about it. I was like, damn, like this happens a lot. This happens a lot where I send out a whole host of moves, and like I only catch like 2 of them or something like that. But that's fine. I enjoy analyzing all of the charts, regardless of if I'm able to catch these super perfect moves myself or not. And then, well, hold on before I go on. Now that's been taken off, I believe that we can go higher. So like from here, I thought we were gonna get a bigger push from like just getting to here. Like it looks more like a retest right now, but as long as like none of these top companies come out with any bad news. I mean, there's a lot of good earnings reports that came out. That's why we're so bullish. So I'm looking for clearance of this, and then I'll be looking to catch a retest of. Well, let me get rid of this line here, and give y'all a cool looking box. Bam. Let's fill it white. All these levels have played out very well, very, very well. But like I said, I have all those other levels below price still marked off because, like, I still think that there's a chance that, with anything, really coming out on like red folder negative, you know what I mean? Red folder level negative, then it would be like, for the stock market specifically, like for Nvidia, for Apple, for Tesla, Facebook, something comes out, or it's just like, or trade tensions start getting really, really tight, things like that, something like that happens, then those levels are going to be very important. So I'm going to keep them until we're super in the clear. But price is looking really strong. Price, what I'm saying, I'm not a bear. I'm not really a bear or a bull. I'm just a trader. I'm you know what I'm saying. I don't come into it with like, oh, I wanted to do this. It's just a matter of like, I see something and it's like, okay, for me to be comfortable trading, I want this to happen. You know what I mean? And then we see what happens. So I want price to break through, continue breaking through this here. I can bring this down just a little bit. Continue breaking through this here, and then give us some sort of retest, and then that retest is something I'll be looking to get on. But a lot of bullishness, so much bullishness. When you have so much bullishness, you want to be, bullishness or so much bearishness. Anytime the trend has been trending for a while, you want to be careful, and make sure you're not, getting in at a bad time. But relatively, all things point north for Nasdaq. As long as things don't get tighter with trade tensions. Mindful, this got back to this high while things are still tight. You know what I mean? So investors are confident right now. So it's gonna take something big to shake that confidence, but it's still possible for something big to come along and shake that confidence. So everybody just beware of that. And then we have, where you at? NZD. The entry, I'm pretty sure we did put this entry on like it was on the last week's episode. It was in a little bit of drawdown actually on last week's episode, I believe. Somebody go back and check and then let me know in the comments if I'm tweaking. But I don't want to waste y'all time like going through it and trying to find it and everything. I didn't prepare it. But as you can see, like look at that margin of error. Everything is just so and this is why I like doing YouTube, because like you can go back and check my work. Like I just said that this was there, like, and I didn't just like magically just now put it there before I hit record. Like you can go check me on that. You can go see if I'm lying. You know what I'm saying? Like really easily, because like YouTube time stamped it and everything, dated it, so you can see when it was posted and whatnot. So that's a beautiful thing about this part of what I do. It's like, even when I don't like that Nasdaq move, even when I don't catch every move, it's like, well, I still call that move. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't be everywhere in the markets. That's why we build things like the bird's eye view tool and Harmonious, the bot that we're building, things like that, so they can be everywhere in the markets for me. But we got another great entry on NZD, and NZD is just it's still really, really bullish. We have a little bit of bearish volume that came in, but that's just people trying to call a mini top, but they don't see we got a ways to go. NZD got a ways to go. So I'll be looking for so right now we're at this sort of resistance. So you got bing, 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 bing. Now we're at it again, and this time is most likely the charm. So what we're gonna wait for is clearance of it. Once it gets cleared, it's gonna come back. It's gonna retest a little bit, then it's gonna shoot off. So And just in case I'm tripping and I didn't put this entry on the last episode. I'm like 99.9% sure I did. But let's go ahead and drop another one on here. Gonna leave a little bit of room. Gonna leave a little bit of room for error because of the fact that y'all like to over leverage, and I don't want nobody to blow their account. Don't over leverage. Please don't blow your account. This is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. These are trade ideas. Something like this would be fair, a fair sniper. But like I said, I want to see this get cleared with a little bit of momentum. Like we go touch like 88.5 ish. You know, they don't have to go all the way there, but you know what I'm saying. Get it clear with a little bit of space, and then come back on around and give us an opportunity to get another entry on that. And that'll be the third entry. Fairly sure all of them have been shot out here on the YouTube. But yeah, that's the major trade that I'm mainly focused on. This there's the EUR GBP setup that we were talking about last week, but for the most part, I'm still pretty decoupled from the US dollar, so I may trade the GU entry, and I'm definitely going to be trading, looking to trade NZD/JPY. So if you got some value out of this, make sure you hit that like button and the sub button and the bell icon. All three of them, real easy, real free. Tells the YouTube algorithm this is good content. It needs to get pushed out some more. I feel like building up the community is gonna help me help y'all more. You know what I mean? Having more insights to my style of recording videos, to my style of enunciating my analysis, things like that. Definitely want to start getting more feedback now. We've crossed over 500 subscribers. We've crossed over 500 videos. Been doing it for about a year now consistently. I was doing it on and off here and there for a few years, but consistently we've kind of been rocking strong for about a year. So now I definitely want to start getting that feedback. Let me know what I can do better, how I can make this experience and being part of the TDB family better for y'all. All right. Again, I love y'all. Make sure you're kind to somebody today. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.